Okay. So this video is called Age of Beyond, If Humans and AI United. And it's a pretty idealistic, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be naive in my thinking that there aren't hyper-optimistic ways of seeing the future unfold for humanity and AI in the partnership that it takes going forward. But what I don't understand is why people leap to thinking that only the doom scenarios are the ones that have actual merit. When I'm like, our species is a proven fucking survivor. Our species is known not to fail. We controlled fire 1 million years ago. Did we burn down some villages here and there? Yeah, we burned down some villages here and there. But we started controlling fire 1 million years ago, and look what it's fucking done for us. I would argue nothing but good. Oh, Jeff, how could you say that? Fire has caused, it's been used to, burn innocent people in churches, and terrible things in wars fire has done. And yes, I'm not trying to belittle those types of instances that have happened in human history. Horrible shit has happened. There's nothing anyone can do about that. That's just, if you're looking for a universe where it's all roses and waterfalls, then the conversation that I'm having here isn't for you. The reality to the universe is that things operate in certain ways. There are certain orders to things. There are forces. There are rules. There are laws. There are inherencies. There is a real world. But this idea that I can only see doom scenarios having any real merit, that's ridiculous. Humans have come out on top of all the endeavors that they've tried eventually. We don't, I guess maybe I could be wrong, right? But as far as I know, the running tally of shit we've tried or wanted to do that we have yet to accomplish is pretty fucking short. I'll be honest, people don't recognize how real the philosophy is that, if we can imagine it, we can make it happen. That's such a real statement about the human creature that I can't even, I can't even exaggerate. I can't even be hyperbolic enough on how true that statement really is, because we have an inherent nature to be able to accomplish the goals that we try and want to accomplish, right? I want to build this crazy fucking massive suspension bridge from here to there. What? People look around. What? You fucking crazy? What? And then a year, 5 years, 10 years later, boom, there it is. Right? Engineering marvels here and there, right? For fuck's sake, we propel ourselves on and off the planet on the regular now. We're that creature. We can solve a problem. And we accomplish so many of these great and amazing things to where I just don't get, optimism should be the more inherent scenarios that have the merit to them. The optimistic scenario should be the one that people think, right? They shouldn't be going, oh, well, that's just science fiction. GF, your mind's been perverted by science fiction. You've got this idea of some, utopian future going forward. No, I'm not talking utopian. Hard fought. Nothing utopian. Hard fought. That humans have fought a lot to carve this data and information and make these wins against our environments, make these wins against other creatures, make these wins in technology, make these advances in civil rights, make these advances in political operations throughout the world. We always keep striving to get better, and we fight very hard to do that. Our history shows that story of us fighting very hard to improve and keep improving. And we more often than not succeed. So so I don't know why people are like, oh, well, I give these doom scenarios this level of percentage for coming out, or for being a realistic outcome, right? And you'll take that type of thinking seriously. But most people, when they're like, oh, well, what do you, I give it a 50%, 60% chance that one of these optimistic futures comes out, they're like, some weirdo, right? Thinking, you've got naive thinking of the future. I'm like, do I? I'm like, or are we constantly increasing the age of humans? Are we constantly pulling more and more people out of poverty? Are we constantly increasing the rights of people? And then, yes, I know, right? You have these moments where there are backslides, or you have these moments where it's not perfect everywhere yet, right? And people think that because of that, well, that means everything's, gone to shit. No, fuck that. That is not at all what that means. What that means is that we are not perfect yet. And if anyone, I'm certainly not trying to prescribe the idea that our species is perfect. And if anyone is trying to prescribe that to you, you're an idiot, right? That's magical thinking. We're far from perfect. We have a lot of work to keep doing to ensure these optimistic outcomes. And that's what we do, because we're a primate that likes to make sure as many of us are as happy as many of us can make happy. because we're a happy, friendly primate. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm so optimistic about the future. And I do not at all think it's naive to think that there are higher percentage numbers to the reality of these optimistic scenarios rather than higher percentage numbers to the doom scenarios. Fuck that. That's bullshit. When we've been able to see a problem and forecast it in advance, right? Which is, I think, what a lot of our fictioneers do for us as a species, right? They give us long time heads up of these things, right? Like, be careful with that AI business, right? Something may come along, something like Skynet, right? I just thought of it off the top of my head, right? Something like this could come along, right? So if you start building a tool like that, you might want to think about a fucking future like a future like this, where this might fucking happen, right? So maybe build some securities in, or maybe maybe just do some testing ahead of time to make sure that something like this shit can't happen, right? I can guarantee you that we've at least done that. And here is where I'll give everybody the caveat, right? If I'm wrong, and somehow AI is able to do a Skynet thing and pull a fucking all the nuclear bombs, and a fraction of the human population runs out, I'll remind everybody who the victors are in every single one of those fucking stories. It's still always humans. So even in your fucking doom scenarios that you're trying to puff and praise and tout as those are the winning scenarios, you're forgetting that in those scenarios we're still the fucking winners. So what's your problem overall? Is your idea that you're going to hold the tide back? Because that's just not fucking happening, right? AI is getting built. The future is coming. We as a creature, we can go into it as prepared as fucking possible and as optimistic and as forceful that it be used in our favor. Or we can go forward panicking and set the fucking village on fire. But I can guarantee you, humans will continue to go forward even after we set the village on fire. Whatever, if you want to fucking start chaos and mayhem, it'll happen. It'll happen for some short period of time, but it'll get over. And then people will go forward and they will live drastically better lives, right? History will mark all of the people who were involved in causing the terrible part. They'll mark you all as fucking idiots. You'll be the next several generations versions of Nazis. Congratulations. I guess you deserve some reward for showing up as one of those bullshit tree rings, of a fire marking in a tree ring of history. Unfortunately, we had to suffer that fucking damage, but at least we propelled from there and made huge strides forward as a species, like we were always going to do, even though those panic little monkeys, right? Not proud primates, panic little fucking monkeys. We'll get past them, And those of us that live through that will remind everyone. It'll be interesting, But I'm super looking forward to the future, because an image like this just does so much to tell what our species is capable of.